Yes, this is Island area on the 9 out right here in Las Vegas, entertainment capital of the world. Right now, we've got a special guest. I got my daughter who said entrepreneur can be born during COVID-19. That she has done it. She's created a company called Tiani's Lighthouse. She's got that spiritual positive vibe, and I have her on the show. How's it, Tiani? How you doing? Aloha.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
All right. Now, you know what? We talked about, obviously positivity, because what makes the world go around. Love makes it even better, but let's start with positivity. Now, by you, creating this business, Tiani's Lighthouse, where'd this idea come from?
Well, originally, I was born with a certain talent. Some people call it, being an empath. Some people call it being a medium, whatever you take it. And I got into doing tarot cards, and that started it all. I used to be interested in, crystals and gemstones, like the ones behind me. And originally I just bought them as gifts for everybody else. However, I wanted to stop buying it for everyone and, just spread that little piece of positivity, while doing the things I love.
Well, let's go back to the empathy or, this medium. Now, growing up and having this gift probably was probably a hard road for you, because a lot of people don't really understand the gift. How'd you kind of, take this on? How'd you overcome it? How'd you pretty much live with it?
Well, when I was in 7th grade, I started to, when I was younger, I actually used to see a lot of things, but I wouldn't say anything about it because I thought it was natural or like they were real. So, and then they started talking in about 7th grade, and I kind of got freaked out by it, and I ran to no one but you. And you freaked out, and I freaked out, and Grandma freaked out, and some of my family members kind of went all Holy Spirit on me, almost as if it was like an exorcism. Like, my grandma made me open up the Bible and all this other stuff, and they were praying through the phone, and Hawaiian salt on the walls, under the bed, in the water bowl, and I had to keep up with it. If it dried out, Dad told me to put more. So it was hard at first. It really was, because that kind of showed me that, it wasn't natural, and it was a scary thing, telling people that, and then all of a sudden I'm not saying that I wasn't raised in a church or, raised a certain way, but that was unnatural that wasn't something familiar to me. And when that happened, it was like, whoa, like all of a sudden, like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I don't know how I dealt with it.
From 7th grade and then growing up, did these feelings or emotions, did they get stronger, or did you, what'd you do to kind of try to deflect it? Because a lot of people don't understand what that side is. I don't understand it, because there are gifted people out there that, take to certain things easier than others. But, being a child and growing into something with this gift, how do you come across that?
Well,
did you go to the gym, work out?
Nope.
Did you go play sports to get your mind off of it?
No, not any of that. Honestly, I kind of just kept it into myself, because after that I was really scared that situation was going to happen again if I was to talk more about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved away for a couple of years with my aunt, that's when I started to notice it was kind of growing stronger, like things were making things in the house move, and I would see them and I would tell them stop, and they would stop.
But you moved to a different country, and explain to the the listeners, where did you move to?
I moved to Italy for a couple of years, Aviano, Italy, Aviano Air Base.
Oh yeah, I was in the military, but when you say Italy, now that is some That's some growing pains right there. Yeah.
Old stomping grounds for a lot of older people. I mean, going to Rome, I was super scared going because my auntie would explain that, people would say that they can feel. So, naturally I was freaking out on the inside, like not understanding what was going to happen to me if I were to walk in there or what I would be able to see. But, it seemed like a lot of those older people definitely moved on.
Spirits? Would they spirits? Not
Yeah,
people, but
spirits.
Okay.
Spirits move on, and I don't know. There was no hatred. There was a lot of pride in Rome itself.
The
people
culture?
That were happy to be, the culture, definitely. It wasn't, some things kind of manifest itself to be, what it wants to be, whether they're here for revenge, to do evil, or, just those people that are lost. And normally I was always attracted to the people that were lost and needed help.
I think, it's I guess the law of attraction, right? You come across that where I've heard stories that you've told me that, walking in a store and somebody literally has to, one of these things would kind of grab a hold of you and kind of want to make you talk to them. Mm-hmm. and either it was good or bad, so. How do you handle that? It's just like, talk to the hand, see you later, peace out.
Well, kind of actually. So at first when I was younger, I would kind of just ignore it, like act like it didn't exist, because if it didn't think that I could see it, it wouldn't talk to me. So I would just, shut it out. Until I grew older, I started to learn that love was my power. Love was my biggest strength. I had a lot of care for a lot of people in the world, and I was just like, why can't I use this care to be my strength on the other side? Mm-hmm. Mentally, when I was talking to myself about that, or to my ancestors, because I got to see where my strength comes from. So when things happen, I normally envision, or I know that they're with me at all times. Their hands are on my shoulders, just keeping me grounded, and I just have this white light that's around me that I know that positivity and love is my strongest ability, and that's what kind of keeps the scary stuff away.
So you would say angels would come to your aid.
They're definitely my angels for sure, because that's my bloodline.
Right. Now, speed it up till today, with this COVID-19, this idea, you have this gift. You said you wanted to kind of spread the word, and because you give away crystals for positivity. You also, I believe,
I sell crystals.
Well, before, you were giving as gifts.
Oh yeah.
Now you're venturing into business for yourself. Yes. Also, you've kind of taken the token of reading tarot cards. To me, sometimes the tarot cards kind of takes away from, coming in straight from you, because explain to people what tarot cards are. I mean, it's like literally, positive notions or positive outlook of what the person that you're talking to. You don't have to be in the same room. You're just talking to that person. You can pull a card. How does that work?
Well, tarot cards were actually, they originated from Italy, actually. They were started in the 1700s, mm-hmm. and they were actually put in as a game. No one understood this game, and then it started being used for divination, spiritual, all that stuff, moving into the 1800s. So moving on in there, people started using it to talk to spirits, talk to loved ones, or just, get that advice for yourself or for other people. And people were very entertained by that. Kind of similar to they think they're seeing a fortune teller kind of thing. So tarot cards definitely originated. It's a 78 card deck. Each deck has their own. I know that when these creators make them, they have a feeling of intent and how powerful. So you know, I don't know, I've seen the process of them being made, because eventually I want to make my own deck, possibly with the Hawaiian ancestry put in, like the goddesses and the gods of Hawaii representing Hawaii. So that's one of my goals for sure.
Interesting, very interesting. I mean, how'd you get introduced into tarot cards? Was it you know, a friend of yours, hey man, try these out, or it was just one of those things that you know, kind of, you know, researched?
No, actually, my friend, my partner's sister introduced me. She actually was starting tarot, and she did a practice read on me when we went over. She wanted to just practice, and everything was very true. And when I was asking questions, because you can ask yes or no's, and I was, you know, I wanted to know if I was crazy all these years. I know I'm not crazy because I've had validations that the readings that I've done. But I wanted to ask the tarot cards to see if it knew. And so I asked if, you know, I was actually very intuitive, or if I do have a gift. And I believe the high priestess, who represents spirituality, intuition, and knowledge of divination and divine, came out. So when she told me, she was like, yeah, you're actually very intuitive. I asked the next question if it was on my family, my ancestors, my great-grandfather. And yeah, it came out, and I was just like, yep, she's absolutely right. I knew it, but I wanted to make sure she, like, the cards were true, the cards were right. But a lot of people associate tarot with being evil, and tarot is what you really, it's pointing out all of your strengths and your weaknesses that, you know, your divine self wants you to know. Confront that self, or confront yourself, to live that true and natural positive life that you can. And that was one of my things that I really started tarot for, was to help others release and realize and release. So
but your cousin that introduced you, or your friend that introduced you to these tarot cards, she has a gift, or she was just interested in the tarot cards?
You know, I'm not really sure if she's intuitive, but I just know that a lot of people, almost anybody, if you study the cards, you can read them. But that's 78 cards you have to study. Okay. Me, I just picked up a deck, and I started reading it for a lot of people, a lot of coworkers that I work with. They were really interested in it, and I just started doing it. And honestly, I never looked up what any of the cards meant. And I just let the cards, you know, talk to me. Right. Things talk to me. And yeah, so I started doing that. And then afterwards, like maybe a month, and I was like, this is actually really cool. Let me see what they kind of mean. And all of the readings that I done were really accurate. People cry. People are really happy. People are, you know, I feel like the people that are kind of in disbelief don't want to believe their own hurt and stuff like that, because it's hard to hear. It definitely is hard to hear, you know, your life isn't going the way you want it, you know it, but you're trying to change it, but it's not changing because you keep doing this one certain habit that you get used to. So
yeah. Well, it's just, you know, because you have a lot of people that practice, you know, the tarot cards, and they're not intuitive, but you said the cards, you know, play out. Sometimes a lot of people look at that as, you know, being fake, you know, but now, you know, with you, you know, having a gift and being intuitive, and literally having that gift of speaking to the other side, or even just flipping of the cards of certain individuals, and to let them know, you know, what they should be doing, or watching their future kind of unfold, health-wise. You know, you're pretty much like as an advisory, right? You know,
yeah, I like to name myself as a spiritual advisor, because sometimes I know when people come to me because they've heard some things about me. I know when they come to me to hear from a certain somebody, and I may not be prepared for that, because when I do readings, I have to have this protection barrier, because I've done a lot of readings, and, you know, it's super exciting and super fun for me to witness everybody getting those positive feedback and, you know, that healing that they do need to move on from, you know, whatever's hurting them now, to live life to the fullest and, you know, not regret it, and whatever it may be that you're going through. But I just lost my train of thought.
Well, the thing is that, you know, with your intuitiveness and then the gift, now you've kind of sharing this the gift with the world. How'd you come across with you know, the crystals? You know, I mean, you know, the crystals are sometimes people think it's just one of those paperweights. You know,
yeah,
I mean?
like a rock.
You know, people utilize it as a nightlight, or you know, they hold the door, you know, to hold the door open. Now,
Oh no!
well, you know, I've seen it done, you know, so, you know, because some crystals are huge.
No!
I see some people have, like, you know, I went into a home that a boulder was, I guess, one of those purple crystal, like a boulder holding the
Oh
boulder.
yeah, I have one of those. Like,
I mean, but this one was like a big boulder, like,
yeah,
you know, huge. And
yeah.
you know, and I asked the person, like, hey man, is that like an expensive paperweight that's sitting on the floor? He's like, no, it's it creates energy for him. And I was like, well, it creates opening the door for you easier, you know. So.
Well, actually, you know, that's not a bad thing, because that means he is inviting, you know, that positive energy and protection into his house. So whoever it may pass by, or who's coming in, or whatever, your store, or whatever, it's creating that energy and setting that energy out, doing its purpose for his house, creating his peace, his light, his protection. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing. You know, we have certain crystals, I mean, not we have, but there are certain crystals that you can put throughout your home and make sure that it, you know, has protection. It brings that happiness, that love, that focus. So like in my office, not this one, in my other work office, I have a fluorite that is for focus, because, you know, sometimes I'm so caught up between all these other things. I really need to make sure that I keep myself grounded. And I sleep next to an amethyst, because I am intuitive, and I know that my intuition, you know, in the night I can get disturbed, you know, and I put that there for protection. Or opalite, you know, there's everything, you can put them around your house. But as far as people referring them to rocks, if they don't believe in the power, it's all in faith, right? You know, how people believe in what they believe in. And, you know, we don't know, but you have the faith in it. And, you know, whether that rocks aren't what you think, or what may be your taste, however, it did come from Earth, and we also came from Earth, right? So they have those earthy feels, and that's why people like to utilize them, because they come from Earth itself. And if you think about it, they're in mines, and they have to get these things like out of the earth. So that's why they're kind of expensive, or, you know, they are what they cost, because it is expensive to retrieve these things. You have to go deep into the earth to get them out.
Well, it's like even, you know, people pay top dollar for diamonds, gold. You know, I mean,
Yes.
Now you have these. You know, let's see one of those crystals, and you can maybe talk about one of them that you know, provides some positive light for Tiani's Lighthouse. So can you show one of us your just pick one. I mean, something that just yells at you and say, pick me.
My go-to is always amethyst, but we can.
And let's bring it to the camera and show our viewers, and if people are listening, then they have to tune in to Tiani's Lighthouse. Let's see one of those bad boys.
Let's see. This is a beautiful piece. Fluorites.
Let's just take those two, and then you know, kind of work with those.
Yes. Okay. So this is smoky quartz. Okay, it has those crystals, and then you have those raw points. Smoky quartz is definitely for protection. It is that yin and yang where they have that protection, but they also have the clear quartz at the bottom that raises the positive vibration into your environment. And then this is fluorite. Again, I use fluorite in my office. I actually have a rainbow fluorite. And this brings focus to your environment, and also, you can sleep with this next to your bed to clear that energy to protect you while you're sleeping from nightmares or anything like that. So I usually recommend those two.
So, you know, with the crystals and energy, when you say energy, where do you get your energy? You say, sometimes I hear you, you know, tell me the sun.
Oh, yeah. So when we recharge the crystal energy, that means, you know, it served our purpose. It's like a battery. When it runs out and you got to go charge your phone, what I do is you can either do it by the elements. So water, the sun represents fire, but some stones cannot go into the light, like amethyst. They can't go into the light because of the color. It won't, I don't know, it just fades, it lightens. So we got to keep that one out of that. But some of them use the sun's water, smoke, so ice sage sometimes, or you can use incense. And all you really do is you just light the sage and you hold it over, you know, asking the energy to be cleansed, wiped of the crystal. And then the moon energy as well. So I take my stuff out, and because the moon is so powerful, if you think about it, it controls the tides, all of that. If the moon is so powerful to control the water, why wouldn't it be strong enough to contribute right back into the crystals? So normally I just put them right as closest to the earth as it is, or you can, meaning like on the ground by the dirt. Some people bury them. I personally don't like to bury them because I don't want it to get really dusty. But it is, again, once again, all in your belief. And because I have, you know, a little stronger power, I know when it's prepared. So I just leave them out under the moonlight, like on a full moon is the best to do it. You can also like create moon water. There's all kinds of things that people like to do.
Now you're starting with, you know, being intuitive or having this, born with this gift, and, you know, ventured into tarot cards, into energy, and now literally, you know, focusing on crystals, and creating this business, you know, during this COVID-19, or just creating a business in a sense at a young age. What inspired you to just to, you know, kind of say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to focus and, you know, my energies into a business. How'd you come across that?
My family members. My family members are super driven. They have a lot of strength, and I watch them every day doing what they do, as far as, you know, what passions they want to take on, and they've taken on projects, businesses of their own, which is so awesome. aka you, one of my role models, biggest role models, especially, not just because you're my dad, but you have a lot of insight, and you continue to do the things that you love. So I was thinking, you know, I really do love working where I work, because there's a lot of stuff that I can help with beyond my power as, you know, a supervisor or the higher up, but being able to cross paths with so many people and help them heal, especially because I work with a younger age group. My goal was always to open like a youth group or a youth like those boys and girls clubs where they can come and find a safe place, even if it's for 2 hours, an hour, or whatever. I get to interact with those people and talk to them and listen to them, where, you know, school, you only see kids for like an hour class and you can't even talk, or you see them for lunch for 45 minutes, whatever it may be. And I don't know, I've always been attracted to helping others heal. So when I got into tarot, me and my aunt, same one that I moved to Italy with, we always used to talk about me one day owning a crystal shop, because I was just like so into crystals, and I always was gifting them out. Again, I just gifted everybody because I'm like, you know what, I know if they don't believe in it, they believe in me. And if I give them this token of a gift, I know that they're going to treasure it. Meaning if they believe or not believe, but if they take this gift and they take it into their home, I did what I can do to make sure that, whether it be protection, happiness, just clearing that energies or, something like that. I'm not sure of the other words, but just serve its purpose, then I want to do that. I started getting into tarot recently, and then I started noticing that I was gifting a lot of crystals. A lot more when I was doing readings, because they would walk out of my readings and I would just go to my little plate. You want to bring me my plate? That's okay. I'll show you the plate that I have. So I have a plate when I have a reading, because I like to just choose a crystal. The two tier. I like to choose crystals when I'm doing a reading, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to choose this one with the intention of this might be what they need, and I know the reading will go this way. So I have a plate full of crystals here. These are my own. I collect them, and I really, really love them. Some of them are gifts, so I only have like 2 gifts on here. But everything else, like I tell people, if they disappear, or I used to have a crystal necklace, it ended up where it needed to go. Anything, the crystals find their way to you, if you think about it. Like I left a crystal at your house, right?
Yeah.
But I know you need it. I didn't need it. I bought it because I thought I needed it, but it ended up where it needed to be, right? So I choose one of these crystals before a reading. I'm going to be like, I would say, okay, the intention behind it. I know that you're coming, or, I kind of just know. I'm not trying to say, but I'll choose, say obsidian. I'll choose obsidian or onyx. Onyx? I'll choose this one, and I'll be like, I know that this person is going through a really rough time, or I know that they're going through a really rough time, that they're going to need this for protection. And I'll set it on the reading. I'll leave it right there on the table, do my reading, and it comes to be true. They feel a certain way, maybe whether that be like an ex is trying to get back at them, or, someone is doing something bad to them. Someone doesn't want to see them succeed. Someone doesn't want to see them happy. And as crappy as that is to say, people are so negative. And at the end of my reading, at the end of the reading, I'll just be like, I picked this before our reading, and I know this belongs to you now, and I just give it to them. So I started gifting a lot of crystals. So I spent a lot of money on crystals, and my partner was just like, you can't be just gifting crystals away, because then you're just gonna be losing your pockets.
Right.
So we decided that, what if we just started this little thing? Let's do this crystal business. Let's start selling on live, which we do our lives on Tiani's Lighthouse on Instagram. Every Tuesday we've started. It's been about 3 weeks, so it's done so well for itself, where we actually started with like one of these little shelves, and we've expanded to this much inventory.
Awesome. I mean, now what's the goal of a Tiani's Lighthouse? You said you want to, obviously create these, what is that, boys and girls clubs, for kids. Also, with the Tiani's Lighthouse, do you see growing into, the major market? Having kiosks, or maybe jewelry by Tiani. There's so much that you can do, especially with the positive side, and and the gift that you have. I think it says a lot about you, and more of a personal investment and certain things that you carry. And now Tiani's Lighthouse is live on Tuesdays, or are you on Instagram? And
Yes.
then also on all social media aspects. I mean, is there going to be like a you know, Tiani's, you know, QVC network? You know, you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, my goal, and speaking big right now, is, you know, to eventually own a store
there it is.
with possible, you know, like warehouses and stuff like that. And I would love for that to happen, and just have a little place where, you know, I don't only have to sell online, which I will probably still do that if I was to even, well, if when I do get there, you know, I will. I'm not saying that I won't, but I would still do the lives, and I would love to have a shop just for people to come. We've gotten a lot of responses like, "Oh, where's your store?" You know, like, I want to come support. I want to come
See you in person so I can get a
yeah, and you know, I'm just like, oh, you know, that's my own home. It's a home business, and I don't know if, you know, you could just have all kinds of people, and, you know, me being that, like, that beeper for that energy, you know, like beep 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 beep.
Yeah. No, I see it all, Tiani. I think you know, you're in the right light, and you know, well, what's the information they can get a hold of you?
So no, I'm most active on Instagram at Tiani's Lighthouse, spelled just like this, right here. And then we also have a Facebook. They're both connected. And I believe that's it, just Facebook and Instagram right now. I have a website. It's not fully completed, tianislighthouse.com, and hopefully we can start uploading inventory there. But every time we go live, these babies sell like hotcakes. So it's like everything we have, it's like it's gone next Tuesday. We just literally went to go restock on Friday, and coming tomorrow, we'll see what we have left.
You know what? I'd like to thank you very much and for your time in joining me here at On the Nine, and I look to getting a reading, even more so getting more involved with Tiani's Lighthouse. So folks, get a hold of Tiani's Lighthouse at IG, Instagram, also Facebook, and then as soon as they, you know, build out their Tiani's Lighthouse.com. And support it. Be positive by sharing your positive energy and the love that what the world really needs. One positive thing out of you, Tiani, what do you say to the world? What's the one positive thing you would say to the world?
Honestly, breathe in all that, you know, positive air, and release that negative, and just keep walking with life. Even if someone cuts you off on the freeway, you know, that was only temporary. That doesn't define your whole day. So just keep walking in that love and light and positivity. Really just bring it to you. You make your day, not anybody else.
There it is, a word of wisdom from Tiani's Lighthouse. Thank you very much, Tiani, and mahalo. And
thanks.
Thanks.